This is Sybert signing into General's Evolution, the mod for Red Alert 3 on the map, Tournament Desert. We eventually had to see a game on this map. It got so overplayed in 0 hour, so it is fitting that we should start this best of 9 here on Tournament Desert in the north as the blue China tank. This is ClouD. And in the south playing as the red GLA Toxin, this is Giraffe. A big thanks to Josh C. on Patreon for sponsoring this show match. These guys are going to be playing for $75. We have got a best of 9 and 2 of the best 1v1ers in Gen Evo. Of course, Gen Evo does play a bit differently from Gen 0 Hour, so while Gen 0 Hour has their own list of absolutely amazing top players, in Gen Evo, that list is a bit different, and honestly, I don't know that anyone is really a crossover between the two. China Tank versus GLA Toxin. We got here by these players choosing random, seeing the factions, exiting the game, re-hosting, and choosing their random factions. So it is randomly selected, but it is sort of like random reveal or random balance, where you do know what your opponent is playing as, but neither one of the players chooses their original faction. So I know those rules are a little bit weird to understand if you're just coming from nowhere, or if you're coming from like StarCraft or even other CNCs. Gats do clean up both of the technicals. Rocket's going to be able to clean up one of the Gats. Second Gat may go down. No, barely. All of the Rockets do go down, and ClouD does also save the oil derrick. However, at the same time, he's going to be losing a couple of supply trucks, as this is a massive supply attack. Rockets inside of these technicals. Second war factory did get established, but this first one may be under threat after this supply goes down in the back of the base. There is a Gat cleaning up a couple of tanks, so this is hit for hit. ClouD and Giraffe both going to be striking each other down. And, well, one Gat will go down. No, he does barely survive. He pulls out just in time, and it looks like everything gets cleaned up on the ClouD side of things. Giraffe on the other side, not cleaned up either one of these Gats just yet. Tunnel network does get established. Triple technical going to be coming in. One Gat goes down. Second Gat will be eliminated, but not before a third or fourth. Supply truck does go down. The strikes are going back and forth, but ClouD is cleaning them up a little bit more quickly. However, he did take the oil derrick as well, and Giraffe has not taken the oil derrick. So it feels like ClouD has killed more, but he lost his supply center, but then he does have the oil. So it's sort of back and forth. Both of these guys, just these little disparate individual groups of units trying to get something done, not totally winning out in a clear victory. By the way, big thanks to Segoro. Never mind, as these technicals walk into 6 Gats, 3 technicals immediately eviscerated, 4 and 5 go down, and Giraffe is making a huge mistake here. He does manage to garrison up that civ structure. He is going to be able to push away these Gats, but that was the majority of his ground vehicles gone without a fight. A clear victory here for ClouD, and he is just going to keep the pressure rolling. He is trying to sneak in a Gat on the left side into the supply center as well. Every technical goes down, and a complete destruction of Giraffe's ground army is in effect. Builder does get eliminated, and that's a fire sale. Giraffe is going to be taking the Game 1 loss. It fell apart pretty darn quickly for him. His supply center off in the right, keeping him in this game. And there he does sell it off. Big thanks to Segoro, who is the one who actually set up this show match in terms of getting the players together. My suggestion was ClouD as one of the players. Segoro chose Giraffe because Giraffe won a King of the Hill event that Segoro ran. So super big thanks to these players for jumping on. That is game number 1 in this best of 9. Feels like these guys are evenly matched, but ClouD really got a big advantage from a mistake that Giraffe made, and let's see what happens in game number 2. Which takes us right back here to Tournament Desert in the north as the red China tank. This is Giraffe. He's down 0-1, but he is here to get revenge. Meanwhile, in the south as the blue GLA Toxin, this is ClouD. And once again, if you are a bit unfamiliar with how some of the competitive rules for 0 Hour have developed, this might look a little bit strange to you. We just played this map, and literally we have the exact same setup, but the factions are reversed. So ClouD is playing Toxin in the south, and Giraffe is playing Tank in the north. Again, there are some rules that cropped up in 0 Hour around the fact that there are 12 different factions to play, and some of the matchups are just better. And in some cases, you will actually know the entirety of the match lineup before you ever play the show match. This is done a little bit differently, but it is have this random selection into a reverse on the same map. So we do truly get to see from this matchup, China Tank versus GLA Toxin, who is the best. I mean, if ClouD wins the second game in a row, then ClouD is clearly the best. But if Giraffe brings it back, then maybe these two players are just better at playing China Tank than they are at playing GLA Toxin. And of course, Giraffe was playing pretty well, and then he made a critical mistake in that last game. Couple of Gats going to be sneaking in down the right side. Meanwhile, one Gat coming in down the middle. 2 Scorps are out. Gats getting cleaned up by this tunnel right from the beginning. Of course, Technicals going down extremely quickly, and in the middle, it looks like the Gat was dealt with by that Scorpion. Triple Scorpion now here. ClouD literally learning from how Giraffe failed to play out the last game and making adjustments to his play. 4 Scorpions going to be able to chase down that Gat, and the supply truck takes a hike while this Gat is being cleaned up by the Scorpions. Finally, the Gat does go down. Meanwhile, Giraffe Cop did remember to get his oil on this one, or at least it wasn't sniped, whichever happened, and he goes straight into a propaganda center as well. So he could be going for a little bit of a late game instead of going for a double War Factory opening, which is what we saw ClouD do in the last map. 5 Gats down the middle. No, they do split off. Meanwhile, on the south side, it is double War Factory production of Scorps. No expansion for ClouD. He is holding on to that for just a little while longer. The Gats, I think, still go unnoticed. There is one Battlemaster Mark II heading down the right side. And look at this technical. The attempt was made, but a well-placed Gat cannon right from the beginning of the game by Giraffe does shoo that away. Okay. 5 Scorpions, 1 Battlemaster Mark II, trying to draw them into a bit of a stronger position. Maybe this bunker will come into this battle and be a part of it. Battlemaster is going to be taking a bit of damage here, but he will be able to trade, not necessarily against 7 Scorps, and that's the perfect angle of engagement for Giraffe. He's got the use of that bunker as well. The Battlemaster does get overwhelmed, though. Just sheer firepower of numbers from ClouD here on the right side. It looks like no sneak attacks, no Gats down the left side of the map for the retaliation. It is just pure damage output from ClouD. He's going to get the oil derrick. Nicely done. And lucky for ClouD, he also picks up the kill on those rockets as well. Reinforcements from Giraffe are a little bit further away. Giraffe going to be following this up with his late game income right away. So Giraffe really wants to keep this one tight to the vest. ClouD a little bit long distance harvesting from over on the right side, and he himself is not taking any big expansion moves, but he probably is expecting that Giraffe will take that expansion at some point. And I don't know, Giraffe may literally just go with internet centers, try to keep his perimeter super tight, super small, and let ClouD play into his hand. Triple Gat on the front line. A couple of Scorpions are here. They do use their rockets on the Gat, not on the Battlemasters, but the Battlemasters cannot really get an angle to engage. As soon as they move in, the Scorps just reverse move out of there, and ClouD does not want to commit to that engagement. He doesn't want to commit to that attack and go for that trade. He is now just going into buggies, and ClouD being very careful to never take a direct engagement against the Battlemaster Mark IIs. He is just happy to let this one play out a little bit slower and try and win with a different tactic. Always hoping to outrange and then overpower. Buggies on the left side. Outrange and overpower Giraffe. Arty Barrage fires off. Rocket Buggies are going to be able to clean up that tank, and the Arty Barrage hits down in the bottom left-hand corner, cleans up a decent chunk of the supply stash. Maybe even got a, I don't think he got a supply truck there, but he does clean up a decent amount of health. Not enough to actually kill off the barracks or the supply stash. Maybe a bit of RNG coming into the favor of ClouD there to allow that Arty Barrage not actually to clean up the barracks. Airfield coming in as well. Additional internet center also. Once again, Giraffe just trying to keep his entire perimeter so tight. Bunker will be busted on the right side. Decent amount of Battlemasters. But I don't know that the Double War Factory production... No, the Double War Factory never came online. This has been single War Factory Battlemaster production. So the sheer numbers just are not there for Giraffe. He did try and sneak one Battlemaster off on the left side, but a much more careful and defensive game. He's about to have 3 internet centers up and running. He's also got a second command center also. And now the first MiG is online. Second MiG about to come up. No Inferno Cannons, no nukes to deal with these rocket buggies, and it's going to be Scorpions versus Battlemasters. Hit and run here from ClouD. He is just interested in trying to trade out his Scorps versus the Battlemasters. No quad cannons. Rocket buggies coming back in. They're going to be able to pick off another Battlemaster here. No, they actually go for the GAT. They get the kill on the GAT, not on the Battlemaster. Trying to commit to the attack. ClouD may have found himself in a bit of a bad situation. Loses a couple of rocket buggies there to the MiGs. Barracks does survive. A bit of a misstep there by ClouD. And the first ECM pops on out. No challenge to the MiGs coming out from ClouD just yet. It's all rockets and Scorps. There's the first 2 quad cannons sticking their necks out. And, well, the MiGs are back up and running. Another, maybe he canceled that other internet center. He may have just not had enough cash to get it out quite in time, and he had to cancel it. This is the point where not having that oil derrick and the fact that ClouD was able to save his own oil derrick is super frustrating for Giraffe. Inferno does burn down about half the health of that Civ structure. And now ClouD is into the dance. He's got the rocket buggies, he's got the quads, and he does have the Scorpions, but it's going to be all about dancing. No Inferno Cannons, no artillery of any kind. It's all just these 4 MiGs. The cracks are starting to show in Giraffe's unit comp. He doesn't have nearly enough MiGs to make this work. He's going to be forced to pressure ClouD at some point, and ClouD, having lost so many rocket buggies, is actually kind of down on rocket buggies. MiGs coming in, they're able to execute 2 of the quad cannons. ECMs don't get the lockdown on any more quad cannons. Scorpions are going to be trading against the armor of Giraffe, but Giraffe will come through. He may not be able to win against the quads and the rockets, but he can crush those Scorpions. 1 ECM does go down. Second Battlemaster is outside of the range of the ECM, doesn't deflect properly, and second Battlemaster takes a bunch of damage. That ECM has to be so carefully positioned to actually deflect that many rockets. And ClouD may have just bought himself enough time getting his own black market. He's taking the expansion off to the right side. He's playing this one out super carefully, and I think he's almost at a tipping point where he can straight up overwhelm Giraffe, and there will be literally nothing that Giraffe can do about it. That last strike was like just enough damage that ClouD is looking like he's prepping for an overwhelming attack, just sheer volume, if nothing else. Opening up with a 2-game win streak would be really nice for ClouD in a best of 9. make him feel pretty confident going into game number 3. MiGs on the left side, ready to strike. Carpet bomb coming out, mine drop coming out, rather. Will be a bit of a delay here as the Scorpions and the Rockets clear that up. 3 ECMs, MiGs off to the left side. They did drop their bombs on the oil derrick. They may not actually be able to burn it down. A couple of MiGs do get tagged on the return home. Only 2 of them make it back. The oil derrick does survive at about 25 HP as well, 25% HP. Arty strike gets called in. Decent number of rocket buggies. Both players have rebuilt a decent amount, and there the oil derrick does finally collapse down. Center supply stash being taken by ClouD. He was a bit later to that late game income, but he has made up for it with his double expansions. Eventually, Giraffe does take the expansion in the top left. 2 fresh internet centers there as well. Defense is a little bit thinner on the left side, but the MiGs are standing by as well. Another command center will get established. Rebel surprise does nothing. Does provide a little bit of vision. We'll see if he's going to be able to break through. Rocket buggies do get off a good salvo, and the ECM's able to shut down a couple of the Scorpion tanks, but the ECM's getting cut through. The rocket buggies on the left side are enough, and Giraffe's front line collapses as the MiGs come in too little, too late, and the Scorpion tanks will not be stopped. The combination rocket buggy Scorpion tank is just too much for Giraffe. Not enough static D on the front line. 1 more factory will fall. The barracks is dangerously close as well, even though he hasn't built hardly any infantry this game at all. And finally, the war factory goes down. The airfield gets eliminated. The command center is next to fall. And even if ClouD gets cleaned up here, the reset is going to be too painful for Giraffe Cobb. Barracks does get established. Having this triple command center is nice, but it's not quite going to be enough. The war factory is almost dead before it ever comes online, and there it goes. Second command center to be eliminated. Giraffe Cobb has basically nothing left. He's got the command center on the left side. There's the fire sale. The GG comes out, and Giraffe will lose game number 2. ClouD going to be opening up the best of 9 with a 2-0 start to this game. GG. Well played there by ClouD, and that's where it feels like ClouD kind of got to set the tempo, set the pace of that match, and control every transition point. He was always in the lead of those transitions. Giraffe was always playing catch-up, and that allowed ClouD to not even be super aggressive, but to still completely control the map and control the game. And just super cautious play from ClouD. Nothing fancy, nothing flashy, no trick maneuvers. Just control the game and slowly win it. That'll do it for game number 2. Let's jump into game number 3, which takes us to the map Frozen Pipeline for game number 2 as the red China infantry in the north. This is Giraffe. Feeling a bit rough, down 0-2. Meanwhile, in the South Plain as the blue USA Air Force, this is ClouD. So we are on to a new map. We are on to a new matchup, and Game 4 is going to play out in the same way that Game number 2 did. So we will be on this map for 2 games, and these guys will just reverse for that Game number 2. I was thinking that China Tank had Inferno cannons only and not nuke cannons, and it turns out they don't have either. So the MiG artillery was really important in that last game, and it just did not come through at all for Giraffe. Meanwhile, Engineer from ClouD does manage to grab that Veteran Academy, and he may be able to scare off the minigunner, but of course minigunners, we'll see how useful they are in this game. They are extremely powerful in the right situation, and I'm curious as to how ClouD is going to manage to deal with them as USA Air Force, or if he's just going to get completely clobbered by them. And honestly, I'm not sure how well Giraffe is going to be playing with China infantry. He was maybe a little bit off his game. It felt like he had more of the feel of things as GLA, but then got caught by surprise. Yeah, it's going to be right into a propaganda center again. First assault troop crawler is out. We'll see what kind of air forces ClouD is able to muster against Giraffe. A couple of sentry drones coming out for ClouD. He has managed to keep a hold of that veteran academy for now. I assume this is going to be something that Giraffe wants to clean up, wants to take down. Sentry drones scouting through the base of Giraffe, looking for that opening. A couple of bunkers have already been established. Nothing inside of them. Sentry drone's going to be able to clean up a couple of tank busters here, as tank hunters, rather, as the sentry drones do. One manages to escape just barely. Sneaks out there. First assault troop transport coming down. War Factory is up, Airfield is up, but no aircraft just yet. Sentry drone's going to get overwhelmed. Two of them go down. The third does get eliminated by the eject of those tank hunters and minigunners. And second most recent sentry drone. All right, ClouD starting to clean up the infantry, but still a couple of minigunners and a couple of rockets do survive. Literally just one tank hunter and one minigunner remain. But they were able to clean up basically the entire ground army of ClouD. ClouD in the top right-hand corner with the one remaining sentry drone is going to be putting a bit of pain on that oil derrick, trying to bring down the economy of Giraffe just a little bit. A couple of more tank hunters coming in the front door as well. Giraffe is going to keep up the pressure a bit. He does want to kill off this sentry drone first, and then move off and maybe even take down that veteran academy down on the right side. Sentry drones only with the help of these Raptors to clean up the infantry. Raptor's going to be able to zap away some of the missiles. We'll be able to clean up the infantry as well. And now ClouD is finally a little bit established here. He's finally got himself set up kind of nicely. But the Raptors, I'm not sure how well the assault troop crawlers will either fare against the Raptors. I don't know that I've actually seen that matchup here in Gen Evo. Aircraft can get shredded in 0 hour by minigunners. But let's see how they do in Gen Evo. All aggression pretty much coming out here from Giraffe. He steps forward. One assault troop crawler gets cleaned up. The second gets eliminated. Decent amount of infantry here, but this is where that splash might be able to just overwhelm them. One Raptor goes down immediately. The other three do manage to escape, and Giraffe gets cleaned up. He cannot rely on these little assault troop crawler attacks like this. Two more assault troop crawlers going to be loading up with some tank hunters as well. He's gone up to those internet centers as well. A couple more bunkers. He has not taken the expansion in the corner just yet. ClouD is going to be leapfrogging there with his strategy center, and I assume a supply center will be following after that. Warthogs do come in. They clean up a little group of infantry there on the front line, and it's going to be sentry guns to head in after this. The main defense is assault troop crawlers. Barracks is going to buy some time. Crawlers do get here. They will be able to shred those sentries. One Raptor gets cleaned up right on the edge there. Absolutely shredded. Second Raptor goes down. And this is where the numbers might turn against ClouD. He has lost control of the ground. There's two assault troop crawlers plus a crowd of infantry heading his way. If ClouD can draw this one out, he might be able to start picking them off, but he's got a lot of damage to be dealt with right here. One more ATC does go down. His supply centers are now under threat. Not even going for the trucks or the power plant, goes straight for the supply center. First Avenger does come forward. I'm not sure that ClouD even has anything here. This might just be straight up overpowered as ClouD falls to pieces in game number 3, and Giraffe Cobb earns himself the first win of the series. We are going to get to switch things around, but maybe The Raptor just explodes. As soon as those minigunners change target, the Raptor just disappears from the skyline. Command center getting targeted down. Raptors come through for another swing. Whatever ClouD was building does get canceled. And it looks like the Rangers get overwhelmed. A great attempt by ClouD. He may actually be able to clean this up with really good sentry gun control. His sentry drones do actually manage to clean that up. It's going to be pretty tough. He's down on eco. He did manage to get up a second airfield, actually. He can upgrade this power plant, which he is. If he could get... He could actually do this. If he could get everything online, being down on income really hurts him here. He does go for his third supply truck to do a little bit of long-distance mining. But, well, he's got 4 fresh assault troop crawlers heading his way. Dozer does manage to sneak out, but that did shut down his war factory to produce that Dozer. And the Raptor gets immediately eliminated. Complete evisceration of everything that ClouD has. Minigunners roasting everything on ClouD's side. Goodbye airfield. Goodbye supply trucks. Even the command center is getting shot at here. I don't know if it'll actually be stopped, but everything else pretty much does get stopped. Unless ClouD has some kind of amazing army on the other side of the map that is completely invisible, it's pretty much lights out. He does have a drone in the north, a spy drone watching over the base of Giraffe. There's the fire sale as ClouD taps out. The GG comes, and ClouD has been defeated. Giraffe going to be able to take game number 3. And that, of course, sends us into the reversal. Really good infantry play there by Giraffe. I thought ClouD was going to be able to play well enough defensively, but no. That second-to-last attack there just tore ClouD apart. That'll do it for this game. Let's jump into the next match, which keeps us here on the frozen wasteland of Frozen Pipeline. Of course, in the CNC3 version, there would be an EMP control center over there. You know, maybe there could be an oil derrick or something. But in the north, as the blue USA, China infantry, this is ClouD. And in the south, can he even up the score with a 2-game streak as the USA Air Force? This is Giraffe. He's sticking his head up into the clouds, claiming that 1-game victory, getting us close to an even score. You know, ClouD is pretty good. He wins a decent amount of the 1v1s or like just random matches that I see from ClouD. And I was a little bit worried that whoever we put him up against, he would just steamroll. So I am really glad to see that Giraffe does have a bit of a competitive spirit. And okay, we got a Humvee, so he is not playing super heavy into the aircraft tactics. I think he was kind of seeing what happened in that last game, and he is convinced that he needs to play a bit differently. ClouD does manage to get the Veteran Academy again. Didn't play much of a role last time, but it does certainly help out a little bit. One random minigunner from ClouD on the bottom right-hand corner. He does manage to start out that bit of pressure. It will need to be dealt with eventually, but not necessarily right now. Firebase gets added on the left side. Giraffe is starting to mix things up. First troop crawler is heading out. Humvee and a sentry drone do manage to clean up the minigunner. ClouD so ready to bring the pain. We'll see if he's able to handle the infantry attacks as well as Giraffe did. Dozer right from the beginning, so second command center going to be coming up relatively soon here from Giraffe. Really curious to see what he does with that. Getting a second Dozer that quickly, we'll see. Another firebase does get added on. The devs should add like a 20% chance that any mechanical unit will fall through the ice and just crash down into that little pond there. But no, I don't think that would necessarily be an actually good idea, but I do think it would be entertaining as a spectator and extremely frustrating as a player, and would be good on like a goofy map, but not necessarily as a serious suggestion. ATC gets cleaned up. That Humvee will actually get answered as well. Good control there by ClouD. Does manage to find the strike back potential to clean that up. Microwave tank comes out as the follow-up, and this would have been perfect if there was still a sentry gun and a Humvee there. A couple of rocket defenders are here as well. Missile defenders here to try and push away that ATC, but that microwave tank is really wanting to chase down those infantry if he at all can. Command center gets established. Second command center is here for Giraffe. Able to outrun the microwave tank for now. Strategy center is online also. Infantry starting to tear through that oil derrick in the bottom right-hand corner. ClouD the only one doing any attacking in this particular game. 2 microwave tanks are out, but no additional sentry guns, no Humvees to quickly clean up this ATC. It's just going to be up to these rocket troopers. He might actually get the strategy center here. That completely resets the tech of Giraffe, and now the microwave tank is going to clean up everything else, but this has bought a lot of time for ClouD to clean up both of the oil derricks and expand outwards a little bit here. He doesn't quite have his supply center up and running just yet. He does have an airfield though, and that attack overall went really well for ClouD. He was able to utilize that time quite nicely, and he's getting a bit outplayed on the tech front, but now that he's killed that strategy center, that resets the timings of Giraffe, and this war factory is actually going to get jumped on. This is enough tank hunters to just bring this down. Firebase isn't online fast enough, and the war factory goes down. The production gets reset at almost the worst possible time. MiGs come through. There goes both of the microwave tanks, and ClouD might be able to just sweep this under the rug. He says, get out of here, Giraffe. You're on the endangered species list, and I'm going to bring you into extinction. Second ATC does go down. War Factory is not online. Enough minigunners do survive, but not a lot of tank hunters are here. This might be too much. The buildings are going to take a little while for ClouD to chew through them, but those Humvees just get annihilated by this many minigunners, and ClouD has done it. Just the right combination of MiGs, minigunners, and those tank hunters. Taking down the oil derricks in the bottom right-hand corner was like the perfect use of time. And I would love to know from Giraffe if that second command center was legitimately a misclick. Warthogs come through, 2 command centers. They will take time for ClouD to chew through, but there is just no response here from Giraffe. He got completely blindsided by that 1-2 punch, and killing that strategy center was like the step 1 of that perfect follow-up by ClouD. Giraffe played his own China infantry game out really well, but that is a tough matchup for whoever's playing USA Air Force. Giraffe has been defeated. ClouD takes game number 4. Securing a 3-1 score, and I mean, that's kind of what I expected coming into this, but Giraffe put up such a good fight in that last one. Let's see what Giraffe is able to do to make the comeback real in game number 5. Which takes us to the map Sand Serpent for game number 5 in the north as the blue China tank. This is ClouD. And, of course, that means in the south as the red, also China tank. This is going to get wild. This is Giraffe. All right, they both do have a little bit of a taste of playing China tank already in this show match, but I was not expecting a China tank mirror coming out from these guys. I guess some mirror matchup isn't that uncommon to happen, but it is great that we get to see a China tank mirror when we've already seen these guys both play as China tank already. Bunkers do get established. Actually, no, it's going to be a Gat cannon. Is he going to try and steal the oil derrick across the way? I mean, this is pretty good. If you don't have an early infantry or early unit out right away, then This may work. It's going to be close as to whether or not the engineer can actually get there in time. That gat is a little too fast. Is he going to go right across the bridge? Oh, no, the gat does see him. I was like, if he pats directly over the bridge, of course, the engineer would have gotten there, but oh, no. Is he going to get both engineers? No, he doesn't, barely. Oh, Giraffe does manage to secure the engineer in the top right. ClouD going for a bit of a delayed engineer, the safety engineer, considering that his gat is already there and ready to ward off any potential gats. If these gats just run past ClouD, oh no. Giraffe doesn't realize the opportunity that he has. He could have ran across that bridge, just ignored the gat of ClouD, and gone for the kill on the engineer. Gat's moving in. ClouD does loot his gat in the south. The mirror matchup dynamics. One player has lost an engineer, but got a quicker cap of the oil derrick. The other player has lost a gat and got a slower cap. You can't kill that bridge fast enough. Giraffe had the right idea. He thought he was going to take that whole bridge down, but it was not meant to be. He may need to back up a little bit further, closer to that gat cannon. Two battle masters are here. They don't chew through the gat cannon super fast, but you know, fast enough. One gat does go, or one battle master does go down. Well controlled here by Giraffe. He may lose a couple of rockets in the south. A couple of tank hunters. And now that they're a little bit further away from that gat cannon, they're going to need some additional tank hunters to back them up. Oil derrick in the middle of the map is grabbed by ClouD, and actually, he's just going to go for the bridge right away, so that bridge is gone. No escape for ClouD. He's going to try and take out the oil derrick, and behind this, ClouD going double war factory, no, actually second command center, and he goes straight into a propaganda center. So he doesn't go double war factory, he goes single war factory into a propaganda center, and another bridge does get cleaned up. That oil derrick still sticking around, but it's almost down as the gats in the bottom left do get eliminated, and Giraffe does not do anything to stop that oil derrick from going down. Giraffe is going to be able to jump on the Battle Master. No, barely. All of the tank hunters go down. So this one gat and one Battle Master combo has more than got its value out of the forces of Giraffe. ClouD able to just sneak by that very small victory there. Giraffe not able to catch any of the armies of ClouD on bridges, and we've talked about this before on this map, Sand Serpent, but once you take down those destructible bridges, it really can become quite a choky map. Gat's going to be pushing by. This is 5 gats and then a 6th gat with a Battle Master, and they're just going to completely ignore the units of Giraffe and try and pull Giraffe's defense deeper into the base. Barracks is getting targeted down. No supply trucks. Maybe one supply truck will go down. These double gat run by is just buying some time for ClouD. He does take down the barracks at the front, which is nice, but it looks like Giraffe is going to be able to push back these forces. Disrupts the mining of Giraffe, but doesn't get a clear win there. Behind this, ClouD going to be expanding in the south. He did, of course, clean up one oil derrick while taking the oil derrick in the middle. So ClouD is up essentially 2 oil derricks over his opponent, and he's going to have an expansion up as well. ClouD trying to control the middle of the map so that he can keep Giraffe on in his little corner. Mine drop coming through. Again, a nice delay tactic there. Some of the mines actually landing in the water where they will never be utilized. 3, 4 Emperor Overlord tanks, couple of ECMs, and this is where the double or maybe even triple war factory coming in. By the way, there is a rule, no super weapons in this game. However, the nuclear missile silo does have some upgrades. I'm not actually sure what tank upgrades it has. For nuclear, for China Nuke, you do have these isotope stabilizer. But ClouD with 4 Emperor Overlords on the front line. A couple of ECMs to back them up. He can just sit here. Unfortunately for Giraffe, he has lost out on a big chunk of the income around the map. He may even need to sell off some of this stuff and just completely fall back to defend his main base. ClouD's going to commit to the attack. One of the Emperor Overlords does have a Gat Cannon, but it gets cleaned up. 3 Emperor Overlords still standing strong. There's the sleep zone as these ECMs power down the Battle Masters of Giraffe, and there is no response from Giraffe. Those 2 Overlords in the top right would have been nice, but they would not have changed the outcome. ClouD just had the better army in that case, and with this map, there is no escape. Giraffe gets completely swept over by ClouD. Double command center is going to get cleaned up, and there's actually going to be the fire sale for the GG, and Giraffe will lose game number 5. ClouD is up 4-1, or at least he will be in a couple of seconds. ClouD will be up 4-1 into that match point position. The danger zone is real for Giraffe, and if he wants to win this thing, he is going to have to start striking back. No mistakes are left for Giraffe. Which takes us to the map Forgotten Forest for game number 6 as the GLA vanilla in the north. This is ClouD. And as the vanilla GLA in the south, this is Giraffe. After all of that hoopla for the first 4 games, then they just decide to switch things up here in game number 6. I'm not sure why they played out the first 4 games all the same with that rule set and then the next games without, but here we are. Barracks and a war factory for ClouD. Forgotten Forest, I will admit, I'm a bit more of a fan of this map. Much more open and less choky than Sand Serpent. I am not a fan of Sand Serpent in general. 2 oil derricks, 1 in the north, 1 in the south, and it looks like they're going to be dropping off some engineers from technicals to go for that. ClouD looking to close out this series quickly and take a win. Meanwhile, Giraffe is going to have a pretty long and arduous fight back to take the win on this event. A little bit of a spat happening in the bottom right as well. Oil derrick will get grabbed, and ClouD manages to secure it in the end. Giraffe gets the first capture, but ClouD gets the total capture. And actually, ClouD going to be able to clean up 1 supply truck. A second supply truck might go down. Yeah, he does get it. The radar van here as well, but that's just going to absorb a couple of shots. And ClouD is now up on income in several different ways. There was an additional expansion that came up from Giraffe, so we did actually have 3 supplies, and Giraffe and ClouD only had 2, but ClouD's got both of the oils. Radar van does not go down. The technical survives as well, so well handled there by Giraffe. He does manage to crush both of those attacking technicals without really losing anything for it. It was a nice attempt by ClouD, but ultimately he wasn't able to make it happen. He is going to be able to jump on this supply truck in the north. He's got a couple of RPG troopers in there as well. 1 quad cannon shows up and a couple of Scorps to push this away. And it looks like all of the RPG troopers did go down. ClouD himself is switching into Scorpion tanks as well. And I think we're going to have a bit more of a typical mix for GLA. They're not necessarily an all-technical army all the time, but oftentimes you do see large amounts of technicals transition into other unit comps as well. ClouD going to be testing the multitasking, and Giraffe is sort of just letting it fall by the wayside here. He does have a bit of an attack going on the other side of the map, but he is just letting his defense completely lapse here. Behind this palace is going to be no income, no economy from Giraffe. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, radar van is getting targeted down, but the tunnel network is protecting the tanks. And actually, it's going to be a command center steal, but no, Well, it just flashed once, and then it stopped, but there's the sell-off there as ClouD doesn't have anything to deal with that engineer immediately, so he's forced to sell his command center, and this may be a bit of a base trade scenario. I guess eventually ClouD's forces will be able to clean up the engineers. He's going for the War Factory now, and he may actually get it. ClouD is going to be forced to sell it off. War Factory does get grabbed. Giraffe will lose it. He sells it immediately, so he gets a bit of a cash boost, a bit of an infusion from that, but back at home, he's got one supply truck, no oil derricks, and 4 Scorpion tanks breathing down his neck as ClouD clears out another technical. The War Factory grab on the other side of the map was magical for Giraffe. If he had been able to get both War Factories, that would have been amazing to then shut down the production of ClouD, but Giraffe cleans up only one War Factory, and the cavalry are here. ClouD crossing the map with 6 additional Scorpion tanks, looking to keep up the pressure, keep up the attack, and cut off Giraffe's reinforcements from the front line. This little band of unusual men, 2 technicals, a Scorpion, and a quad, falling to the superior firepower of ClouD. He says, if you're going to take on my base, I'm going to cross the map with everything that I have and just destroy you. It looks like there is no equal for ClouD in Gen Evo right now. Command Center getting targeted, and he is going to wrap up this best of 9 with a 5-1 score. Unless there is something truly amazing that Giraffe can pull off, but there is not. The GG gets called, and ClouD is your victor. Big thanks once again by Josh C. over on Patreon. He specifically wanted to see a Gen Evo show match, and I'm very glad that he did. I'm glad that we got to see, from my experience, our first extended series here in Gen Evo. We've seen lots of just individual games, some team games, some 1v1s, but I'm glad that we did get to see a competitive 1v1 from start to finish, and ClouD pretty much dominating there. I mean, Giraffe had a couple of good games, but ultimately only able to really come through on one of them, and this game, he was almost there, but then as soon as ClouD started attacking multiple places, it was over for Giraffe. That will do it for this game, for this series, for this video. Big thanks to Sgoro for organizing this as well. Thank you all very much for watching, and this is Sybert signing out.